And action. What's up, everybody? Foz Rotten is back with a brand new series. This is going to be called Yo, Let's Rap, an old school hip hop podcast. Now, I get ideas all the time for podcast, video series, video ideas, streaming ideas, anything to do with what I like to watch, which is YouTube and podcasts. And a series of different topics. Of course, everybody knows me for Star Trek, punk rock, and everybody knows that I'm an old school rap fan. I'm a hip hop artist myself from West Virginia. Been in this since the turn of the century. I tracked down today that my actual first rap show that I ever performed at was in December 2000. So I was hoping that I'd made it in the 90s and did December 99, but it was December 2000. So 23 years ago, that's insane. But I've been listening to hip hop since at least, I was born 83, 84, 85, 86, around 86 to 87. Probably 87, I would have got my first tapes, which would have been Run DMC and Fat Boys. Of course, 88 blew up. I was a little kid, was listening to the radio, was watching the videos. Fresh Prince was my favorite thing in the whole wide world. It totally took me over. And all through the golden age of the 90s, that's my heart. That's what I love. That's what I grew up on. That's my classics, if you will. And I've been watching a lot of documentaries, watching a lot of the 50 years of hip-hop tributes this past year. And now that it's kind of settling down from the 50 years, I want to keep it going. I want to keep all that steam and all that talking about our favorite eras alive and well. And I hope to have people join me on this. I hope to get people I've never dreamed of on the show to talk. People from my favorite groups, people, my favorite solo artists, people from behind the scenes. If I could get Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, that would be the dream. Dr. Dre and Ed Lover are already gone on the show, but you know what I mean. Anybody who is from around back then, I would love to get. People who love that time period, I'd love to get. Whether I get a regular co-host or just guests every week or both, I'm down for whatever. I just want to make a super fun show. And again, let's do it. Yo, let's rap. An old school hip hop podcast. I am down to talk about whatever. I have ideas. Old school hip hop movies, which I've already done a video you can find on my channel here, youtube.com/Foz Rotten. That has my top 5 forgotten hip hop movies of the 90s. I could do one of the 80s. I have so many ideas with this. I know I'm a little nervous right now just talking. I'm stuttering over my words a little bit, which is funny because I talk all day. It's what I do for a living. And I rap. That's what I would love to do for a living. But since a rap don't pay the bills, y'all, maybe YouTube will. All right. So I'll be back here in just a moment. And this was the intro to Yo, Let's Rap, an old school hip hop podcast. Be right back.
Boom, bap, yeah, that boom, boom, bap, it's that boom, bap, yeah, Foz is back, it's that boom, bap, yeah, that boom, boom, bap, it's that boom, bap, yeah, Foz is back, it's that boom, bap, yeah, that boom, boom, bap, it's that boom, bap, yeah, Foz is back, it's that boom, bap, yeah, that boom, boom, bap, it's that boom.
Hey guys, welcome back to Yo, Let's Rap, an old school hip hop podcast. Today we're going to be going over last year's celebration of the 50 years of hip hop. And crazy thing, I turned 40. It turned 50. I always said that hip hop was like a big brother, and that's so true that we even share the same birthday, August 11th. Now, while I was a 1983 kid, it was created as they claim in 1973. So last year was 50 years of hip hop. We're still celebrating it into today. This is going to be a great year, but let's look back at last year and what they did. It started off at the Grammys in early February. Questlove put together this huge celebration with LL Cool J, Ice-T, all kinds of people. Everybody you can imagine that was there. They even had old school people with some of the new school people coming out. Everybody from like Grandmaster Flash to Lil Uzi Vert. Everybody was coming out. Now there was a lot that people didn't have there that they wanted to see, but there were some classics. I've been looking for it online. I can't find it. I watched it back in the day, whenever it aired back in February. I can't find it online right now. I don't see it on Paramount Plus or anything. But what I did find, I'd like to go over today, is a Grammy salute to 50 years of hip hop that they did back in December. And the big thing from that was, of course, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince came back for a reunion. Now, I know that they had been like popping up here and there on festivals and stuff, but this was like the big celebration where they did a medley of songs. And so I finally caught up with it last week. And I took notes on it. I even made a playlist. It's on Spotify right now. Just search it. The Grammy Salute to 50 Years of Hip Hop playlist. And you got every song on there. Not only did I get the songs on there that was performed on the show, but also the songs that they would play in like tributes to passed away hip hop performers. The little in-betweens. Anything I could pick out, I'll put on that playlist. So it's about 3 to 4 hours of solid music. Check that out. Now, earlier in that year, like I was saying, they did the 50 Years of Hip Hop tribute on the actual Grammys. This was a special in and of itself on CBS that is now up on Paramount Plus that you can go see. Some of the cool things from the year before we get into the details of the salute was that thing that Questlove put together on the regional Grammys, and of course he was helping with this new one, was him and LL Cool J put together that entire LL Cool J tour, where they took out not opening acts, but acts that would come out while the Roots were playing the entire show. DJ Jazzy Jeff was up there with them. A couple other DJs were up there with them. It was amazing, and people would just come and go. They had Common, they had Method Man and Redman, they had MC Light, they had a whole bunch of people, and it would be different people in different areas that would come out. It was awesome. So I actually was lucky enough to see that live, and as a huge fan of all these acts, but especially Common. Common's always been my dude. That was the first time I ever got to see Common live. I'd love to see a full show, but if that's all I ever get to see, I can die happy. The Roots and Common together, that was crazy. And LL Cool J killed it. It showed why he is still number one, still a legend. Speaking of number one, it wasn't officially a part of anything like of the 50 years of hip hop, but something that I do need to mention was I got to see the Wu-Tang and Nas tour that they took De La Soul out on, and Talib Kweli was there with De La, and that was just amazing. If that wasn't as big as everything we're talking about today, I don't know what is. Because I was lucky enough to see that full LL show and that full Wu-Tang Nas show with De La. That was my year. I can't stop talking about it. And so when I said I want to start the show to keep up the energy and keep up the fun of talking about this past year in hip hop, those were the main things that happened in my life. And already in 2024, I'm happy to announce that Cypress Hill has announced a tour. I think they called it the We Legalized It 2024 tour. So, okay, I don't smoke, but you legalized it, celebrate. And they're taking out Farside and Souls of Mischief. And we're going to be, me and my wife, who we go to concerts all the time, we have already copped tickets for the Asheville, North Carolina date. So if you want to come up, say hey, we'll be there. I'm so excited. I've never seen any of these groups. I've never seen any group that I'm talking about that I got to see this last year. I've never seen them. So I'm trying to catch up. I've spent years and years going to punk shows, hard rock shows, all kinds of stuff. I've seen, no, that's a lie. I did see LL Cool J 2002, and it was amazing. But besides that, my rap shows have been few and far between. I've seen Kanye West back on the first album tour. So they never come around West Virginia where I live. So the stuff I've seen has been few and far between. So I'm really trying to travel and catch up on that these last couple of years. All right. So besides the big 50 years of hip hop celebration that the Grammys have thrown, there's been all kinds of events this past year. Every time you look online, there's new events happening. I know there was that huge Rock the Bells event at like a big stadium in New York. that Run DMC did their final show at. I saw where Naughty by Nature came up there with Queen Latifah. That was amazing. I watched as much clips as I could online of it. If there was anything I wish I could have been at this year, it'd been that. So if you have any specific 50 years of hip hop shows that happened this year, specials, whatever, leave it in the comments. Let me know about it. I'll talk about it on the next show. All right. So I wanted to do a detailed breakdown of what a Grammy salute to 50 years of hip hop looked like. And it's on Paramount Plus. Go watch for yourself. If you don't have Paramount Plus, figure it out. You can find it. Or even on Spotify, I put up that playlist. So we're just going to kind of do a blow-by-blow breakdown of the night. So it starts off with LL Cool J introducing the ladies first segment. And just kind of introducing the whole night, because LL Cool J has become like the ambassador of hip hop with the Rock of the Bells station on XM and just the whole brand. So you got the ladies first segment with Spinderella from Salt and Pepper, of course, DJing everything. And you got Queen Latifah and Moni Love coming out and doing ladies first, which was awesome. And keep in mind, just like with any TV special, these are like broke down small versions of the songs. They'll never be the full song, just be chunks of it. So you got them doing the ladies first. Then you have MC Shyrock coming out and doing a version of She's the Joint that she had done with Funky 4+1 back in the day. And sure, she has her own version of everything, but when I went on Spotify, I couldn't find it. But this was like her version of it, with her own lyrics and everything. And then you had Roxanne Shante come out doing Roxanne's Revenge. And then really cool, because I'd just been listening to the Class of '88 podcast, which I think on the next episode we'll get into. JJ Fad came out, and there's a great interview on that Class of '88 podcast with JJ Fad coming out and doing Supersonic. And then MC Light came out and did the cha-cha-cha. Then Remy Ma came out and doing All the Way Up. And that was cool, because it was like you had the old school up with the new school. And keeping up with the new school, you had Lotto doing Put It On the Floor. And then they all came together at the end of that segment and did Queen Latifah, UNITY to close where everyone's together. Now that was a really cool segment. The old school with the new school, I didn't know what to expect. It was the start of the show, so I was all about it. I was feeling it. It got me hyped up. Then it goes to its break, and then it comes back. And if I don't have the name of each of these sections exactly correct, it's about as close as I can get. So I got Salute to the South as the next section. And it comes back, and Chloe Bailey introduces a clip of Outkast playing from that Source Awards where, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg ain't feeling the love, and Snoop Dogg gets up there and be like, East Coast ain't got love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. And Suge Knight's like, don't want your producer all up in the videos. That one, that same one, Outkast won Source Award and got up on stage and had Andre up there talking about the South's coming, y'all. And as he prophesized it did. And so we have the South coming, the Salute to the South. We had Jeezy put on as the first track, and then T.I. came out with What You Know About That. Okay, so then this was one of my favorite parts of it, was Bun B came out, and of course they did a UGK song, I Choose You, Babe, which is one of my all-time favorite songs, speaking of an Outkast verse right there. But Bun B came out and did his part, and they did a shout out to Pimp C, UGK. And so that was kind of like, I won't say old school, but, older. And now newer is Glorilla came out, did Tomorrow 2. And then a personal favorite of mine, 3-6 Mafia came out, and it was Juicy J and DJ Paul, and they were doing Stay Fly. Now, I'd been happy with all that, but then they got a really cool little medley here of Jermaine Dupri coming out, because I think Jermaine Dupri actually did this whole little section. I think he curated it, and he did Welcome to Atlanta. And then he had Boozy Badass come out, and they did Wipe Me Down. And then Uncle Luke came out and tore it down with I Want to Rock Doo-Doo Brown. And that was the South section. Like I said, Jermaine Dupri, I think, put all that together. And that was a good section. Even if I just had 666 on there and UGK, I'd been happy. Goes to break. And then it comes back, and it's Lin-Manuel Miranda. A clip of him, and I was like, why they got him on there? I know what he's done. He's all right. But then he starts talking about how he's been inspired in all of his writing by hip-hop. And his favorite track is Far Side's Passing Me By. And I'm like, me too, Lin-Manuel Miranda. That is also one of my favorite tracks of Passing Me By. And they showed a clip of it, and I was like, well, hell's bells, if this is the only way I get Far Side today, I'm a happy boy. But wait. So then they go from that clip to back to LL Cool J introducing Public Enemy. And this whole section is the Public Enemy section. They had Questlove DJing. Can you believe that? Questlove, not only a amazing drummer, is also a world-class DJ. I knew, but I'm going to say, who knew? So he was DJing for him, and it was Chuck and Flav, and they were out there. I think I got the list down. I think they opened up with Don't Believe the Hype and To Fight the Power, and then they went into just a little bit of Hey, the drummer get wicked, and went out with Bring the Noise. So you go to another break, and then when you come back, some of these people were surprising. Seth Rogen, which everybody compares me to Seth Rogen. So my boy Seth Rogen was out there, and he's introducing a tribute to the West Coast. Yeah, Seth Rogen, comedy star from Canada, is introducing West Coast. Sure. Okay, I ain't taking his West Coast street cred away from him. I'd love to introduce it as well. All right, Battle Cat was the DJ for that one. And to open it up was Warren G doing Regulate, came out there. That was awesome. And then 5 on It, Luna's come out and was doing that. It was really cool to see them. And then, which was surprising in and of itself, but since, since the last few years of Jordan Peele placing movies, I think it was in Us. Yeah, it was Us that was in. It's been out. At least that remix version has. And everybody loves it. So it wasn't that surprising. Well, surprising. But then this one really surprised me. Lady of Rage, Rough and Stuff with My Afro Puffs, came out. I was losing my shit. I was like, what the fuck? Lady of Rage is on TV. That was so awesome. That was a highlight for me right there. And then YG came out, did Who Do You Love? Tyga came out doing Rack City. Roddy Ricch and Mustard, who I gotta admit, I don't even know who these guys is. They came out and did Ballin'. Remember, guys, this is an old school hip hop podcast. My old ass, I don't know it. I didn't care much for it. Didn't hate it. It was all right. But then my old ass just made me a little fangirl. I mean, I was straight up fangirl. I don't give a fuck. DJ Quick came out and did Tonight. DJ Quick on national TV came out and did Tonight. It seemed like they gave him the longest time too, because every other song they're just doing a hook from and maybe a couple lines of a verse. They gave him like fucking half the song at least, if not more. I was like, have this be the whole show, DJ Quick. Come on. And then this was really cool. After that was Yo-Yo came out doing You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo. Now I wish Cube was there, but Cube wasn't there. But after Yo-Yo, you had Cypress Hill come out, and they came out with the opening of Hand on the Pump. You thought they were going to do that, but immediately, as I was like, Cypress Hill went into How I Could Just Kill a Man. So it's like a little switch up right there, which makes sense. I thought they were probably, if you would have asked me beforehand and said that they were playing, I was going to say Insane in the Brain, but How I Could Just Kill a Man's even better. So anyways, after Cypress Hill went off, Too Short came on doing Blow the Whistle. I understand why he did Blow the Whistle. I'm so happy to see Short. But is it just me, or does it not feel like that's more of a South song? And if they're doing the West Coast, he really could have done something West Coast, one of his older stuff. But I get it. Blow the Whistle is probably his biggest song. It has to be. And also, it's probably the cleanest. He's not out there just running out talking about a girl giving a blowjob for an entire rap. Okay. And so then it ends with E40. So it's a little Mount Westmore out there, Too Short and E40. And E40 did Tell Me When to Go. That was the terrible E40 impression, but I do have the beanie. There you go. And I can get kicked out of a Lakers game or Golden State or whoever it was. I'm going to assume Golden State. I don't know sports, y'all. I'm talk some hockey. Anyways, so we went to the break. Okay, come back. And Jennifer Hudson is introducing. And I don't know if they officially call this the native tongue session or section or whatever, but it could have been. So Cool DJ Red Alert is who she introduces. And then this is my favorite section over here. This is my favorite dudes. And I thought the whole concept was really great, where it looked like a big library, school library. And all the rappers who was going to do the entire section was a ton of them. We're all sitting at tables. And we're all just like into it while whoever would get up next in like a really even flow, really nice flow, would get up and change out. And you didn't have to wait backstage. They were all there having fun. So Arrested Development started with People Every Day. And when I say that Arrested Development is one of my top 10, my top 10, guys. I couldn't believe they were there. I was so happy. If I could choose to see anybody off this list, I'd probably see Arrested Development. I can't believe that I haven't yet. They've been my favorite since I had it cassette when I was little. I love Speech and Arrested Development. Okay, so they did People Every Day. And then Common came out and did everyone's favorite song, my favorite song, I Used to Love Her. And he did fantastic at it. Common can do no wrong in my eyes. He's got a new self-help motivational book, and I'm about to get the audio book of that and listen every day like, all right, Common, what am I doing today? I got to do it right, man. Got to do it right. And then Queen Latifah came out and did Wrath of My Madness, which was awesome. Now, Queen Latifah got like 3 songs on this show, y'all. She was in the opening part and this part. They were just like, just keep giving Queen Latifah songs. And that's okay. We like that. Okay. So then my dude, Talib, gets up and does my personal favorite song, Get By. I know that's his big hit and everything. Well, being cool, you know, if Yassine was there and they did Black Star, but it's Talib by himself, Get By, classic clincher, cool. De La came out with Common and did The Business. Now that was a really cool way to do it. You know, that's been one of the big sore spots of this last year of the celebration. Is De La losing their dude but they've carried on. Talib was there with them whenever I saw him live. They did this Common song live. Hell, yesterday they were up in DJ Jazzy Jeff's house on the, I think it was the Saturday live stream. If you'll line up on this DJ Jazzy Jeff live streams, which he does at random nights, Friday nights, Saturday days, Sunday days, weekdays, watch those. He always has special guests popping up. And even if it's just him, just chilling, it's great background music. It's great to do whatever to, especially at work or when you're cooking or something. It's amazing. I can't put that over enough. But yeah, they were there yesterday. They did a whole little set. It's on stories. And I think he has like a TikTok of it. Go check it out. Anyways, so De La and Common did The Business. And then Diggable Planets came up, did Rebirth of Slick. Cool like that. I know it was like a one-hit wonder. No, it's not. That whole album's classic. Come on. But I love that song. It was perfect in the middle. And then you remember earlier when I was talking about Far Side, guess who came out and did Running? I thought I'd seen Fat Lip back there. And then they came out and did Running. I was like, fangirling out. I was like, Far Side! I love it. I can't wait to see them live. All right. Then Black Sheep came out and closed it with The Choice Is Yours, of course. It was perfect. And they were all jumping, by the end, they were all jumping around. The entire little section there that had been up in that library set was all together. It was amazing. That was hands down my favorite. I love it. Okay, so then they go to a break and they come back and they're doing the international version, the international tribute. But first, before they get into that, when they first come back from the break, they have Jelly Roll on there talking about Rex Effects Rump Shaker and how he got a tape of it on Christmas as a kid from his brother and sister. And he listened to nothing for months but Rum Shaker by Rex and Effect. I could see that. I feel that. As a kid, you're like, I want that. So anyways, they go to the international tribute, which was basically the Akon segment of the show. And it was DJ Benny B with an intro of Akon's Mama Africa. And then they go from that into have Styles P comes out and they do Locked Up. Then it's an artist I never heard of. It's a new one, Black Bones, doing Like Ice Spice. It's actually pretty good. I dug that one. And then Akon did another 3 songs. It was I Want to Love You, Smack That, and then Jeezy came out for Soul Survivor. So like I said, it's the Akon hour, basically, with like one person that's not Akon and guests of Akon. So they go to a break, and whenever they come back, it's Regina Hall introducing Salute the Architects. I think is what they called it. And it's Technician, the DJ, was the DJ for the whole thing. So Big Daddy Kane, Raw. Big Daddy Kane came out, killed it. Black Thought came out after Big Daddy Kane and did like his freestyle that he's became really popular for. I found that interesting because he has some great songs, but hey, he killed his freestyle, which is now just called Freestyles, I guess, and that's as big as ever. And then Rakim came out and did My Melody and Ain't No Joke. So that was great. That was the linguist there. Like if Nas would have been there, Nas would have been in that. That was the section for the lyricist. And as an MC, I'm sitting there with pen, pad, going, all right, I see what you did there. Love that. I'll never be able to do that, but I love it. That was a great section. Okay. So then you have the change up. I don't think it goes to a break. I think it just changes up and goes to LL Cool J introduces D Nice and Doug E. Fresh. And of course you got, the human beatbox right there doing his whole thing. And, whenever they go into it, it's, Dougie Fresh doing Let Me Clear My Throat. And then they do a tribute to those we lost. Now, this was the hardest part, was trying to sit, when I was making out the playlist, was sitting there trying to get every clip of every little sample that they did. And during this time, they had all the names on the screen like they were doing on the LL Cool J tour that they had done at the original Grammys tribute back in February, of everyone that we had lost. Now on the ones before, it was just rappers in general that we had lost, still alive, whatever. This was specifically of those we had lost from what I was noticing. So here's real quick what they were doing. Like I said, he opened with Let Me Clear My Throat. Then they played segments of songs. He wasn't doing it. The DJ was. Of De La Soul, Me, Myself, and I. Notorious B.I.G., Mo Money, Mo Problems. DMX, Party Up. Digital Underground, Humpty Dance. Tribe Called Quest, Electric Relaxation. Snoop and Nate Dogg, Lay Low. Nipsey Hussle, Last Time That I Checked. And Tupac, California Love. And the screen was showing the names, and they did a little beatbox tribute to end it, where he would throw in names of like Biz Markie and people like that we have lost over the last few years while doing a beatbox. Really cool. Like the perfect hip hop tribute to those that have left us. I loved it. Okay, so it goes on a break then, and say what you want to say. He seems genuine in his love. It comes back, and Machine Gun Kelly, MGK, introduces, not quite sure what this section was. If you know for sure, let me know. But he introduces DJ Diamond Cuts, and who's the DJ, and 2 Chainz comes out and does Birthday Song. Gunna comes out and does Hot. Coily Ray does Players. I don't know if I said her name right. My wife loves her. And then Nelly does EI. Now, whenever MGK was doing the introduction, he was thanking hip hop for saving his life, and he thanked Nelly for creating EI and all his other famous tracks and getting him danced on at a 7th grade dance. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about what like MGK would talk about. And then Rick Ross came out and did Every Day I'm Hustling and a little bit of BMF. And then Chance the Rapper came out with 2 Chainz, and they did No Problem. And that was the one where everybody came out in the end and was celebrating. All right, on to the next section here. We're getting towards the end. Or we're pretty much at the end. And then Harvey Mason Jr., who is the CEO of the Recording Academy, is helping put all this on. He comes out and does an introduction, does a nice little speech. And then the grand finale, y'all. Cuts to DJ Questlove from earlier, who introduces DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And Will comes out with this little freestyle that you saw on behind the scenes video on his Instagram that they had been rehearsing. It was awesome to watch, like the cut on that video between the rehearsal and him actually doing it live. And they opened up with Brand New Funk. Then they went into Jiggy With It in Miami, which I found funny. But I'm like, yeah, no, those were huge, legitimate successes. But Brand New Funk, Jiggy With It, Miami. And then this was cool. They went to the Fresh Prince theme, but he switched it up with the beat for Switch. So he was doing the Fresh Prince theme lyrics with the music for Switch. And at first, I wasn't even paying attention. My wife over my shoulder was like, they're playing Switch. And I'm like, no, they're playing Fresh Prince. They're playing both. And then they closed it with Summertime, my personal favorite. And everybody came up on stage to close out the entire show. The first one up on stage, Flava Flav. He just runs and surprises Will, hugging him. And Will's like, Flava Flav, everybody. Then everybody was there. And towards the end of it, credits start rolling. He gives Uncle LL Cool J up there, gives LL Cool J the mic to thank everybody for watching. And it's been a great, 50 years. And here's to the next 50. It was a great way to close it out. I loved this whole show. I actually watched it twice in a row because first time I was trying to take notes, but I didn't get everything. Second time, I went through taking thorough notes, making that playlist, and for this, because I've been already planning on this would be a perfect topic to talk about on the pilot episode. Did you watch it? What'd you think? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up anywhere. I'm going to keep this all at Foz Rotten. You can even email me, fozrotten@gmail.com. I'm going to keep everything Foz Rotten because I want to be as in your face and able to get to you with this as I can. Every time I start a new thing, whether it's a new band, new podcast, new anything, you have to start all over again with these websites. Well, that's cool if I had a Yo Let's Rap Twitter handle of its own. Look, it's just me. I'm going to keep it all me, unless I get co-host, then still probably be just both of us doing it. I want to hear what you think. Let me know if you watch this. Let me know if I've inspired you to watch this. Let me know if you listened to the playlist I spent all night long making. Like, that sucker took like 3 hours to make. All right. I'll be back with a close off. But until then, thank you for watching. We'll be right back.
Start from the top when you hear that beat drop. Start with blogger, now I watch the TikTok. Game all talk, but the struggle to walk. Up with the lock, another bitch ass mark. Another benchmark in this life unlavished.
Alright guys, welcome back. That's about it for today's episode of Yo Let's Rap, an old school hip hop podcast. But before we go, this is YouTube. I came up on YouTube. You always have to do some sort of recommendation. Foz recommends, Foz reviews, something like that I've come up doing. So today, one of the things that I've gotten recently that has really made me happy is the new 4K of Juice. I know it's been out for a little bit, but my gosh, when I got this 4K player recently for Christmas, I had to do the upgrade. Because while I love and cherish this old DVD, that's nothing compared to this beauty. Look at this. Look at that. I'm going to open it up. Oh, for those listening to the audio version of this, I'm opening up a 4K of the new release of Juice on Steelbook. Got the Wrecking Crew there. You got a little slip in there telling you to stream the album, get the soundtrack on vinyl. I have the original soundtrack on vinyl and my old cassette from whenever I was young. Does anybody else still have their old original VHS, CD, VHS, cassette, whatever? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you've never seen it, let me know in the comments below. Or if you have a favorite scene, let me know in the comments below. I rewatched this over a snowy weekend, and man, this looks great. Of course, it's always looked good due to the cinematography and everything, but seeing it on that 4K, my God, it blew me away. For those who don't know, the basic story of Juice is a group of friends in New York in the early 90s. One's a DJ, and one wants to be the baddest EMFer around. And whenever the one guy who thinks he's all fly and gets a idea about it that they're gonna rob old man Quilez that runs the bodega down the street. They're gonna do it on the same night as the main guy who's a DJ GQ is playing in this competition hosted by Yo MTV Raps. You see Fab Five Freddy actually there with the cameras. You see Queen Latifah in it. You have Dr. Dre and Ed Lover up there in the stands with her. You see, it's very cool. It's a moment in time in New York City, and he does the competition. They go rob him. Things go haywire, and a young up and coming Tupac Shakur, who at the time nobody really knew, but they knew after this, gets a little carried away with the gun. Murders happen, chaos ensues, and who's your friend? Who's not your friend? Who's got the juice now, brother? That's the question. If you haven't seen Juice, go check out Juice. It's a perfect time capsule of like 91, 92 New York. I grew up on this movie. I had it on VHS. I rented it before I bought it a bunch of times. I had the cassette tape player glued into my Walkman because I couldn't really play it on my boombox because, like Too Short would be on there being like, so you want to be a gangsta? All that shit. Smoke any motherfucker, don't even trip. You'd hear, Aaron! From the next room. So I kept it on the Walkman. But that is my recommendation for the week as the Juice 4K. Let's take one more look at it. How gorgeous is that? If you have any recommendations for me you don't think I know, or new editions of something, whether it be a new vinyl or something like that, holler at me. I'm not buying as many vinyls these days. I still want to get 3 Feet High and Rising. Came out last year. Special edition. I want to get all the special editions of the De La Soul albums. I just don't have the money. And usually any extra money I have goes to special edition 4K steelbooks. That's kind of my little niche that I try to stick with. But of course I'll inevitably always buy like a cool pop or something like that. Or on a whim get the Who's the Man poster right there. I am very appreciative of you listening to this today. Thank you very much. Write in, let me give me some ideas, let me know what you think. Leave comments below, subscribe, like, all that jazz. This is going to be on YouTube primarily at first, but eventually I do plan to take the audio and make an audio podcast of it. So that's why whenever I was showing anything visual, I try to still say exactly what it is we're doing, because there's nothing bothers me more than when I'm listening to YouTube videos or audio podcasts taken from YouTube videos, and they're just saying this right here is what I'm talking about, but they never say the actual name or something like that. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm Foz Rotten, at Foz Rotten any and everywhere. You can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you want. I've been around for years. If you don't know me, I've been making videos for over 15 years now. I've been in bands since the late 90s. Like I said at the beginning of this, my first ever hip-hop show I was a part of, I was with a group called 3FDA. We played in December 2000, but my earliest shows go back to like 97, maybe 96. So I've been doing this a very long time. And if it ain't one thing, it's another with me. But I'm going to focus on this right now and really work to make this something that we can all have some fun with. So if you like old school hip hop, you know me, holler at me. Maybe I can get you on the show. Maybe we can do a live stream special sometime. I have a lot of ideas. So just get at me. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
This is our state of mind. This is our home, this state of mind. It's in our hearts and that's where we find. This is our home, this is our time. This is our state of mind. This is our home, this state of mind. It's in our